Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the second episode of the Cyber Pulse podcast. Today's discussion is one I've been looking forward to because we're talking about something that shapes everything we do in cybersecurity, the way we teach, the way we guide, and support the next generation. A lot of people enter this field through curiosity, opportunity, or passion, but the people who train them, who build their foundation, who spark the very first moment of understanding, they don't always get the spotlight they deserve. So today we're giving that spotlight to someone who has dedicated his work to that mission. Let's welcome our guest, Abdullah Khalil. Abdullah, thank you so much for being here today. So before we dive into our discussion, Abdullah, could you tell our listeners a little bit about yourself, your journey? What do you do? What inspired you to focus on cybersecurity training?
Okay, so Assalamu alaikum. First of all, thank you so much, Sheikh, for having me. I've just listened to the first episode, and I really like the idea of having a student and a specialist and listening from two different perspectives. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit nervous, but I believe that it's fine. That's the
Don't be,
usual.
I'll help you out. I'll help you out. Don't worry about it.
So my name is Abdullah. I am a cybersecurity specialist. What I do is that I'm a lead instructor at Camel Code.
Nice, mashallah.
What I started is, I started North Atlantic. Actually, my journey, I didn't plan for it at all.
Okay, interesting.
So exactly, what I wanted is I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to study medical sector. But what happened that I didn't get the visa to study abroad, and it was too late to
Abdullah,
apply to
that's
any
like a
university.
huge shift from medical to cybersecurity. But what inspired that? Now I'm curious to know.
So I can just think about my journey that there was no decisions that I have taken on my own. Actually, it just happened, you know.
Okay.
So yeah, so I had to apply to any university just to not sit at home and not studying. You know, when you stop studying for a bit, you feel like you're dizzy. You don't want to go back. You feel like it's harder than it is. So
Yeah,
the
true.
only choice was the North Atlantic. So I just applied for it and I joined as a software. Yeah, it was software. It was diploma. All right.
Okay.
And then after 1 year, the North Atlantic shifted to University of Doha, and I was actually lucky that there was a cybersecurity major that is offered. So I said, it was the trend that time. So everyone
Okay.
wanted to study cybersecurity. So I was, let's explore that. And at the end, here I am, a cybersecurity trainer and lead instructor.
Perfect. Like you can be a lead doctor and a lead trainer. So right now you are a lead trainer. I'm happy for you. So you kind of tend to train students and you train teachers as well, and you even train young kids. From everything you've seen, why do you think cybersecurity education needs to start early?
This is a very good question. So recently, I have just started my startup, which is Cyberani. So what we do is that we create capture the flag challenges. So what I have noticed there that most of the attendees or participants, they are younger. They are less than 20 years old,
Okay.
and they are foreigners, no Arab, no Qataris. And then when I started negotiating or talking about that with my friends, I've noticed that most of the students start to study cybersecurity in their second year of uni. So when they become 20 years old, right? And people abroad study cybersecurity when they are 15, 14, and 16. Actually, you always hear breaches that happens worldwide from students or boys that are still 14 years old, right?
True.
And
Don't say boys. Don't do that. Girls do it too.
no, I don't mean that.
It's okay. No,
Don't
I
get
had
me.
to say it, but I know what you mean. I guess it.
Yeah. So waiting until we become 20 years old to study cybersecurity, that assures us that we are always 5 years late than anyone else.
Yeah,
So
that's like a major shift because when they learn it young, they kind of have hands-on experience They know the technicality side of it. It makes
Of course,
sense.
yeah, and not only studying cybersecurity, but as you said, implementing what they do. So there is a lot of cybersecurity graduates, but unfortunately, when they get into the field, they feel that they have no idea what are they doing. They don't have hands-on experience. Maybe in uni, most of the studies was theoretical, and that's actually is not the best practice. And UDST, and this is not an ad, by the way, but
Yeah.
this is my experience.
It
Okay,
was balanced. I was a student there, so it was balanced. We had technicality and then we had theory as well.
exactly, and this is what I like about my uni. It used to be called applied technology. Now it's not called like that, but we do implement everything, starting from building websites, going to building networks, and ending up with hacking. We had a course called penetration testing, where
Yeah.
we study the CEH curricula, but at the same time we had the immersive labs license, and this was actually great. And I didn't know the value of it until I went to the field and I told the people in the field, like Qatar Energy or any other companies, that I have an immersive lab license in my uni, and they were like, "Wow, how do you do that? It's too expensive, and most of the students doesn't have, or maybe the unis doesn't have that yet." So implementing the theory part and getting the practical experience, this is huge.
You think it helped you in terms of you teaching, right?
Of course, of course. So, what I do usually is that, as you said, I do train the trainers and also train the students. But when it comes to train the trainers, most of the trainers, they do have the actual practical skill, but
Yes.
they don't know how to deliver it. I gained this skill actually by volunteering in my very beginning. I've never rejected any volunteering chance. I always volunteered, and that's how I improved my social skills. I knew how to talk to people, I know how to approach them. And then in my second year of uni, I started working, and I'm gonna shock you. Can you guess what was my first job?
I think you worked something as a help desk or something.
Oh no.
Then what was it? Tell me,
It
surprise me.
was it was a chef at a restaurant.
Nice. Do you know how to cook?
Yeah, I do how to cook.
Oh, you are a
I
man
do.
of many talents, Abdullah. I'll give you that.
So actually working at many jobs, like a chef, and then a help desk, as you said, and then a teacher, and then a volunteer at many places, actually improved my social skills and also improved the way of approaching people, and that's how I know how to train. And then I went to Camel Code, and Camel Code is a academy who teaches the students everything related to technology. And there they gave me a lot of courses on how to train. And there at Camel Code, I became an actual expert at training.
Interesting. I see. This is a type of journey that you kind of worked hard for. To be honest, it's inspiring. So I have a question. When you're working with younger learners, what's one thing
Yeah.
they always surprise you with?
Yesterday I gave a workshop at Qatar University.
Okay.
It was about CTFs, okay? And at the end of the workshop, there was one girl
Mm.
approached me. She said, Abdullah, how did you become like this? And I actually didn't, I couldn't answer. I didn't know what is like this. What do you mean? And she said, I just started studying software engineering, and I don't know how to become like you. And that's it. She didn't explain more. So I think younger thinks that becoming a trainer, maybe a teacher, or maybe even an expert in their field uh, is harder than it is actually are. It only needs a time, an effort, and that's it. A dedication for what you like. What I'm always surprised is it's not what I'm surprised about, but maybe something that makes me actually sad. Because I always see some students that they are too smart, they are intelligent, and they have a great mindset. Okay, and they have a goal, a great goal that they want to reach. I want to become like this, and they actually know the road to go there. Okay, but they don't do it because they don't dedicate the enough time to do it. Maybe this generation has less
They're not
when they
patient.
say
They're like fast paced. It's a fast paced job.
exactly, and they cannot dedicate 6 to 8 hours every day to reach that goal, and this actually kills the skills that they have. So maybe if this generation can learn how to put more effort and time into actually studying, maybe improving their skills and being patient on the results.
Let's dive into the next question. Can you share a moment where a student you taught and spent a lot of time with finally understood something difficult because they practiced it instead of memorizing it?
Yeah, of course. So 2 years ago, and this was my real beginning of training
Okay,
journey. It was in the NCSA youth camp, and
nice.
we had a student there called Abdul Malik. Do you know him?
I believe I heard about him, but I don't know him personally.
Yeah, he's the third place of White Hat Desert CTF. All right.
Yeah,
So he was still young, just knew about cybersecurity. He was passionate enough.
nice.
And yeah, during that boot camp, we started to teach him how to actually implement. So he had a lot of information. He had, like, let's say, a spreaded information that he needed someone to gather them into one place and tells him where to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, so during that boot camp, it was actually great. Maybe 4 hours a day for a month, and then I stopped talking to him for a year. And the next year, I saw him in the third place of Capture the Flag.
Mashallah.
When yeah, so that was I felt happy actually. I was like, this is my student.
You were proud of his accomplishments. I understand. I
Of
get
course,
it. I get the feeling.
of course. Yeah.
Abdullah, I've seen you develop courses like Intro to AI and Little Coders as well. What's the most challenging part of building a course from scratch?
Well, the most challenge part is to make your course fits the audience level. So you come from a place where you know everything,
Yes.
but you need to think how others will get the information and how to make it as easy as possible so they can get it. And also to, I mean, the sequence of building the curriculum. I just knew about something called Bloom taxonomy. So Bloom taxonomy is a way of building curriculums. It says
Okay.
that the first level of teaching is just memorizing. So it's not necessarily that your student from the very first session to actually understand everything and implement whatever he taught him, because this is too hard. So the first phase is to make your student memorize the information, and then you can go to up levels where he can actually understand and then start to compare between the solutions and then start to create his own solution. So when you create the curriculum, you need to think in this way where the information should be easy, just memorization, and then the student will be able to implement it. So maybe sometimes when you create the curriculum, you have high expectations from the audience, but then you get shocked from the level that you have seen.
Yeah, true. I know the feeling when it comes to that. Teaching is not as easy as it sounds. So it's admirable for me. Like I really admire what you do. So thank you for all your efforts. Abdullah, I have another question for you. Do you think
Mhm.
programming and AI basics should be part of cybersecurity training today? Even for like the younger kids and younger generations, like middle school or high school? Do you think it's something that they should focus on?
Well, I think that programming should be part of everything, not only cybersecurity. Because if you thought about it, programming actually it doesn't teach you how to code, but most importantly, it teaches you how to think and how to solve problems. And this is what we actually need in cybersecurity. We need this mindset, the problem solving skill. We always hear about this, but do we actually have it? This one.
Yeah.
So programming a lot will actually improve the problem solving skill, and this is really important in all of these sectors, not only cybersecurity. So I wish, and I've seen this in maybe the secondary school, they started to learn Python. I've seen my sister's book and she had a Python course. So this is actually good. Yani, improving the problem solving from this young level is really good.
It kind of teaches them how to choose a path, I believe. Like they'll know if it's something they look forward to in the future or not. And I think this is something that we all need to have in our lives, and in terms of knowing how to make a choice.
Of course. And by the way, even in cybersecurity, there is many vulnerabilities that happens that if you want to exploit, you need to understand programming, right?
Yeah, true.
Most of the web attacks actually happens because of some mistakes on the not following the OWASP top 10 best practices. You can do an SQL injections, cross-site
Yes.
scripting. If you don't know how to code, if you don't know how to read the script, how to read the HTML source code, you won't be able to exploit these vulnerabilities. So even in cybersecurity, the programming is huge.
Yeah, true. I completely agree. You tend to also train kids, students, and adults, like all of these people have different levels of understanding. How does your approach change when the audience changes?
So I remember when I was young, I've heard someone told me that if you were able to explain the information as you are explaining it to a 5 years old kid, then you will explain it for anyone.
Interesting.
So yeah, so teaching kids is way more harder than you think it is, and actually it is really fun, okay, enjoyable, but controlling them, and because uni level they are mature, صح?
Yeah.
So they won't speak while you're talking. If you told them now we have to start, they will start. If you give them some instructions, they will follow it easily, okay?
True, yeah.
But with kids, it becomes complicated. You need to understand the way of the kid is thinking about, and if you did any simple small mistake, it will really affect the relationship between you and the student, and this is really matters, by the way. The students are, let's say, emotional, and if there is someone mature that I told him, Ahmed, I don't like what you did, he will understand what I'm saying this. But if I told this to a kid, he will start thinking that I don't like him and not the act that he did. And
Oh,
then
it's
he will,
personal.
yeah,
It's personal. Okay.
yeah, yeah. So he will make it personal. So dealing with kids and teaching them and controlling them at the same time is really hard to do.
But I'm glad you're actually passionate about this. I can hear that in your voice. And as I said, it's admirable. We need more facilitators like yourself.
I'm actually thankful for Camel Code that I had this opportunity. In Camel Code, we do train kids, secondary school, high schoolers, and also mature people, and also in uni. Like I just gave a workshop at Qatar University last day on
Inshallah.
Wednesday.
Nice.
So yeah,
So tell me, in your opinion, do certifications still matter today? Or do you think hands-on practice is more important?
of course, hands-on practice is important, but also certificates will allow you to get into the field. So first of all, if you want to get a job, you need to bypass the HR. You know that, right?
Yes,
Okay.
of course.
So, and yeah, and most of the interviewers, they don't see your skill at the beginning. They only read your CV. And how can you prove for that interviewer that you have these skills? Okay, you can't. You can't write them in your CV. And oh, even if you can, everyone can write that I am a penetration tester. But if you wrote that you have the OSCP certificate, for example, then this will make a difference. So, and by the way, there is a lot of certificates that gives you the practical experience. Um, Most of them are important if you want to go into the field and actually start to study cybersecurity. You need to get certificates because they build the path that you have to go through. If you want to start with Security Plus to understand the general domains of cybersecurity, and then you decide to maybe specialize more into red team pen testing, like junior certificates, EJPT, and then if you like mobile pen testing, then you go to EMPT, and then you go higher with OSCP, for example. So certificates gives you the path that you need to follow, and also gives you the ability to prove for employers that you have this type of skill. You
Yes,
know,
yeah. Something that
yeah,
they would be looking for. And that's what will make your CV stand out or different, I believe.
of course, because everyone is graduating from cybersecurity these days, right? So how can you differentiate yourself between the others?
Yeah, true.
So certificates will allow you to do that.
Okay, that's an interesting way of seeing it, I believe. So, what do you want to tell students who feel cybersecurity is too difficult or too technical for them? You could say that they're scared, they think it's too technical, they won't be able to make it, or it's too difficult. They won't, for example, graduate on time, such beliefs.
Yeah.
What is your message to people who believe or see that?
So in most cases, people who thinks that it's too technical or maybe they are scared, the thing is that they just don't know from where to start. Where is the beginning, and how can I start learning? And they feel that there's too much to learn and there's a lot of stuff. And the second they feel that this is too much, they get nervous and then they just leave the sector and they say, "Khalas, this is not for me. This is too technical."
Yeah.
What I think is that maybe you go to someone that already made it and ask him, how did you do that? Okay. He will actually give you a lot of advices that it will help you a lot. So in my case, the first advice is continue what you're doing, even if you think it is hard. Maybe the way of studying makes it complicated. Try different ways. Maybe you started too deep, where you had to go to the basics first,
Yeah,
and
true.
yeah, I can see a lot of my friends start solving hack the box challenges where they didn't even know the basics of cybersecurity, and then they got frustrated. Oh, this is too hard. I can't do that. But in reality, it's not that hard. But they just skipped too many information that they need to solve these boxes. You know,
Yeah.
so start from the basics, and we are this generation is fast paced. They need everything now. They are not passionate enough. So I think you should go to the basics first, and once you build a really strong like basic knowledge,
Yeah.
then you go more deep.
Interesting. A few more questions to go. What keeps you passionate about this field even when things get overwhelming? Because I know that our field is all about ups and downs and all about being in the moment.
Yeah, it's actually getting overwhelming,
Yes.
as you said. That's actually true. So, like as a human, I need to survive, so I need to work. This is an answer, and I do have a goal. Maybe it looks silly, but I want to retire when I'm 40. Yeah, this is my plan. I want to retire when I'm 40. So I'm just doing my best right now because I do have the power, I do have the time, and I'm pretty sure that I won't have this like 5 years later. I'm still young. I can still wake up and work for like 18 hours a day, and doing that every day for a week. So what I'm thinking is, as long as I have this, I have the capability to do that, I have to, because maybe after a couple of years, I will have a family, I will have a wife and kids. I won't have the time, I won't have the power to do that. So, yeah, this what makes me passionate.
Interesting. I like your answer. It's straightforward, I could say, and it's kind of practical.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna say that I like what I'm doing, and I actually like what I'm doing, but
But it's
uh,
realistic, like you built a
yeah.
realistic goal for yourself. So, is there one thing you'd like to say to the listeners before we close off?
So what I did, and I believe that I started late, and what made me start late is that I thought that it's too late to start, so I didn't. Okay, and I can see many students in their third year of uni, fourth year, and they think that, as I did, that this is too, and it's too late to start studying, start getting certificates, starting working. Um, I remember when I was in the Whitehead Desert conference,
Yes.
I asked the attendees, and most of them were actually specialists in the field, what is the one thing that you regret about? And the most questions was, I did a lot of mistakes, but I don't regret doing them, because these mistakes what actually got me here. So this
It's
is my
true.
message to the audience.
If I could tell you anything from their perspective, I kind of understand because every mistake guides you to where you need to be in a way.
Of course, of course. So maybe this is the message for the audience, and whatever mistakes you did, if you think that you're late, you have to know that this is the best time to start, which is now.
True. I completely resonate and agree. So before
Yeah,
we actually end the episode, Abdullah, thank you so much for joining me today. I really enjoyed this conversation. I appreciate your time and I appreciate the work you're doing for the community. Before we close, is there anyone you think we could have in a future episode, like a guest that you would like to recommend, for example?
well, of course, yeah. Can I recommend my doctor in uni? His name is Omar Qadri. He's one of the best doctors that I ever had. He made
Interesting.
Yeah, he had a huge impact not only on me but on a lot of students. So, and I believe, and I'm actually sure that if he came to the podcast, he will, yeah, like it will create an impact. So
Inshallah.
I will recommend Dr. Omar Qadri.
Inshallah. Thank you, Abdullah, so much.
Thank you so much.
And before we officially end, I just want to say this education will always be one of the strongest tools we have in cybersecurity. Technology changes, attacks evolve, and new challenges appear every day. But the impact of good teaching stays forever. The right mentor, the right course, or even one simple explanation can change someone's entire path. So, to everyone listening, keep learning, keep asking questions, and don't underestimate how much guidance can shape a future. It truly makes all the difference. So, thank you for listening to this episode today, and we'll see you in the next one.